Hello, everyone. Hope that you are enjoying your Friday day, heading into what will be Erev Shabbat, and then our hopeful rest into the hours of Shabbat, our 25 hours, coming together. As we enter the Torah portion of Vayera, Vayera is an extremely popular, well-known Torah portion. In fact, the end of the Torah portion is the binding of Isaac. That is the actual text that we read not that long ago on the morning of Rosh Hashanah. Uh, and so that's the end of the portion, but the portion is full of very well-known, very meaningful and thoughtful pieces of Torah, as are most Torah portions, but particularly just so much packed into this week. Vayera means like an appearance. God appears to Abraham uh, further that we meet Abraham last week, but this further appearance involves three guests at the beginning of the Torah portion, three angels. We'll discuss the nuance of that tomorrow morning at our service and Torah discussion. And so there's the first part that discusses these angels or these visitors that come and speak to Abraham. The next part is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Then there's another interaction, particularly between Sarah and Abraham, and a very similar situation where he asks her to say that she is his sister. Then there's a whole pickup where we pick up from Ishmael and Hagar, which is also previously mentioned. And then, like I said, is the binding of Isaac. So much that covers this Torah portion. I'd like to talk just very briefly about the interesting story of Sodom and Gomorrah. And you see that behind me, there's this image that doesn't have anything with Sodom and Gomorrah. Usually, I might put an image of fire and brimstone coming down off the sky, but instead, I put this behind us in this department of this cartoon of Department of Indifference, and you see it says so, and then over here it says what, and truly, there's no exact explanation in the text. There's commentary all over, but there's no exact explanation in the text as to why Sodom and Gomorrah is such a terrible place. How terrible is it that God decides to destroy it, and it does get destroyed? And there's also interesting pieces of the pleading that Abraham does have on behalf of that city. Also, a discussion for us tomorrow. But it's really unclear as to the exact reason why it was so bad. We know it's bad. It says it's bad. It says it's awful in the text, but not intricately. And most of the commentary actually says it's because of this above me, that mostly the people living in Sodom and Gomorrah were completely indifferent. They just did not care about what was going on around them, didn't care about the people around them, didn't care about their society, didn't care about their community, didn't care about people who were ill or not ill or any issue. There are all these stories about if you tried to enter Sodom and Gomorrah, that they built this. This is a commentary that this bridge was built, and you had to pay a toll to go over the bridge and to leave the bridge. If you tried to bypass the bridge and they found you, then you had to double the cost. They it was almost as if Sodom and Gomorrah went out of its way to make things difficult and terrible for anyone that was there, including the people who lived there. There's this a commentary that all the beds in Sodom and Gomorrah were made the exact same way, the same length, the same width, and it didn't matter if you were tall or short or a little wider, or a little shorter. It was like this like standardized bed for everyone, and it's really unclear. So on this Shabbat, though, I just want us to and think about not even the intricacies of Sodom and Gomorrah. We'll discuss that a little more tomorrow, like I mentioned, but the fact that so much of the commentary says that people were indifferent. They just didn't care. They just they were going about their own lives, their own business. They had blinders on. And so on this Shabbat, I invite us to not do that, to find ways to go out of our way, to go to work despite Sodom and Gomorrah and say, That is not what we do. We go out of our way. We do not have a department of indifference. We don't say, like, I don't care. It's not affect me. It's not important to me. So I don't have to step in. I don't have to do anything. Because really, I think that's what the moral is of the power against Sodom and Gomorrah. So I wish us a Shabbat of non-indifference, a Shabbat of reflecting on how important it is for us to be part of a community, for us to care, for us to go out of our way to do something good for others. That is what I'm thinking about for all of us on the Shabbat. It is the month of November, and so it is a month of giving in general in our society, in our world. And so let's find ways to give and to not be indifferent, and go out of our way to not be indifferent. I hope, like I said, that it is going to be a wonderful beginning of Shabbat for you. Shabbat's not that long from now. Begins our service. Our service begins tonight at 6:30, and then, as I mentioned, tomorrow morning at 8:30 is our service and Torah discussion about this really fabulous Torah portion. Look forward to seeing you all soon, and of course, let's all continue to try to put as much shalom as we can into our Shabbat.